Chapter 8, The Patriarch. Now playing as Levy. You stare at the man outside your front door, stunned in his silence. Are you going to invite me in, or do I have to stand here like a delivery boy all morning? Dad, don't. But your father barges past you and immediately spots Ella in the kitchen, still tousled from her night in your bed. Well, since when are you in the habit of hosting sleepovers? Dan, she's none of your business. You let yourself between your father and Ella, but he peeks over your shoulder, taking note of Ella's half-dressed state. Not bad. You always did have a way with an eye for the ladies. It's nice to meet you? Trust me, it isn't. He notices a spatula in your hand and suddenly sniffs the air. Are you making breakfast for a girl? I'm not going to dignify that with a response. Is there a reason you're in my apartment, or is it just my unlucky day? There's no need to take that attitude with me. You know exactly why I'm here. Unfortunately, there's only one answer you can think of. You want Reese back in Seattle, don't you? So you can go back to playing the wise, almighty patriarch. Of course, we both know she's not capable of living on her own, always throwing herself into lost charity causes, wasting her talent. The longer she spends here without a firm hand, the wilder she'll get. So you're going to help me get her back to Seattle where she belongs. Send Reese back to you. That's her decision to make. I can't stop you from trying, but at the end of the day, Reese gets to decide whether she stays or goes. Oh, she's still a child, my child. She'll do what I say or else. We're having a family meeting over dinner tonight in less than no months. Reese will be there and so will you. You forget that you don't have control over me anymore. And you forget that I can ruin you and your sister faster than most people can order takeout. I expect to see you at 7 o'clock sharp. Your dad turns towards the door, but as a parting shot, he glances over his shoulder with a calculating grin. And be sure to bring your girlfriend with you. He leaves without another word. You stand there, your whole body thrumming with emotion, until a light hand touches your shoulder. Levy, are you alright? Guilt clutches you by the throat. You hate that Ella was here to see his behavior and how easily he gets under your skin. Nothing makes me feel less in control than being around that man, knowing he can still hurt the ones I love. With a deep breath, you force yourself to turn and face Ella, struggling to regain your composure. I don't think I'm going to be very good company for the rest of the morning. Maybe you should go. But she doesn't balk at your tone. She looks at you through her eyelashes, her voice soft. I'll only leave if you commanded, sir. Otherwise... She turns slowly around and begins making her way down the hall towards your dungeon. Breakfast in the dungeon, I see. Once inside, she falls to her knees and clasps her hands behind her back in the submissive position, her whole body yielding for you. I'm ready for you now, sir. Just be gentle, I'm still a little sore from last night. She's giving herself to me, to take my mind away from him. It's like she knew exactly what you needed. Your heart swells with emotion as you stare at her until her expression shifts into concern. Is this alright? Did I do something wrong? No. You've done everything right. Instead of poking at your wounds or asking you probing questions, she brought you here, and you will never forget that. You sweep your thumb across her lower lip, then trail your fingers down the curves of her neck, drawing an eager shiver from her. You've been so patient with me, and a good dom always rewards patience. Then what will you be teaching me today? Answer slips out without a second thought. The thing she's giving you now, just when you need it most. Empathy. You curl your fingers around her chin, tilt her head up to let her see how pleased you are and how serious. A good dom relies on empathy to tap into the partner's deepest feelings without a need to hear them spoken aloud. She raises her eyebrows, looking curious as you glance around your dungeon. Your gaze falls on a new toy, perfect for the occasion. Really? She gasps as you lift up the gag and glide the leather straps through your hands, and your fingers toying with a silicone ball. With one of these in your pretty mouth, you'll be entirely dependent on me and how attuned I am to your body. Part of her is nervous, part of her is eager, and you see the exact moment when eagerness wins. No, we're gonna save this for another time. Sorry, you know how it goes. You two, blame them, don't blame me. Let me push her further when she's already ready for it. But there are ways to get the lesson across. Come here and let me demonstrate. You stroll over to the bed and beckon her to join you. She follows eagerly, tugging her lower lip between her teeth. When playing with a sub, especially when testing the edges of their comfort zone, a dom is to be attuned to their desires. So as your dom, it isn't just my job to please you. It's my job to learn your tells, to know what you want and when you need more or less. You can tell all that without me saying a thing. Of course. I can see it in your breathing right now. You approach her, trace a finger down her chest, her breast heave with each breath, ready to feel you slide the fabric down her skin. You're chafing at all these clothing between us, ready for me to undress you, but it's up to me to know how you want it. See, this is difficult because you are not there to choose. Like, you're not there to sense her. But ripping's too fun. You slowly begin to work the fabric up her stomach, your touch so soft that you can hear the cloth glide over her skin. How do you know this is the best way I like to be undressed? Because I can see how... Okay. Empathy is about being able to put yourself in someone else's shoes. Some of you don't have empathy. Let's be honest, a lot of people in the world don't. To feel what they feel, to want what they want, to know how ready they are before you even touch them. You begin to slowly pace around her. Your hands tracing each soft curve of her body, just light enough to make her crave more. Lavi, I am ready, please. Oh, I know. And I also know that as much as I'd like to keep her here for hours, we both have to get to work. I was a non-starter, basically. Like, there are a few details about this or that, but you know how YouTube is. That night... You arrive at Les Nomads at 7 with Ella on your arm. The restaurant is almost empty, except for the staff. Wow, he must have rented out the whole place for just us. Not for our benefit. It's so we know who's in charge. I know why I'm even bothering coming. Well, I mean, he said he could ruin both you and your sister, so bigger picture, I guess. Mouth starts to twist in a scowl until she takes one of your hands and squeezes it. Because Reese needs you, and you'd never let her down. I try not to, I just hope I can stop whatever he has planned. You find your father at the head of the table with Reese beside him. The moment your sister spots you, she leaps to her feet. Lavi, Ella, I was starting to think you weren't gonna show. You lean across the table and give her a quick peck on the cheek. You drop your voice low enough just for her to hear. And abandon you to the Wolf King, never. It's a pleasure to meet you properly, Mr. Thorne. Thank you for including me in your invitation. Your dad waves dismissively for her to sit in his usual fashion. He's already ordered for everyone. But while the waiters bustle around the table, he rakes Ella up and down with a cold gaze. You're not like all the others, Levy's others' girlfriends. Dad, you can't say things like that. I can say whatever I want. Last I checked, I'm still the head of this family. Dad, treat Ella with respect. If you can't manage an ounce of basic human decency, I'm taking her and Reese as far away from this place as possible. Your dad eyebrows arch in mild surprise. I don't recall saying anything disrespectful. I just said she was different. Anyone with eyes in his head can see that. I'll allow it. He's correct so far. Ella takes a bite of the salad in front of her. Her expression relaxed despite your father's not-so-passive aggression. I've always wanted to eat here, but reservations are almost impossible this time of year. I can't believe you got the whole place. If there's one thing our dad's good at, it's making the impossible happen. I settled for the humble accomplishment of making both my children see reason. His gaze sharpens and he fixes your sister with a glare. I've indulged Reese's latest phase for too long. This ridiculous transfer, her so-called activism. If you're so determined to get away from your family's obligations, Reese, then it might be time to reevaluate the terms of your trust. Unless you see reason and return to Seattle. Your stomach twists with anger until Ella's hand touches your knee under the table. The soft press of fingers grounds you enough to speak. You can't do this to her. Of course I can. You of all people know what I am capable of when crossed. His words ring in your ears. Suddenly you're 15 again, hiding in your parents' closet as they argue. Are you trying to make me look like a fool? Is that it? Keep your voice down, Richard. The kids will hear you, and you know how Levy gets when you yell. Good! If he hears every word, that boy needs toughening up or he'll turn out as weak as you. Ugh, I'm loving this guy already. Not. Oh my god, that's what 15-year-old Levy look like. Bite my fist to keep from crying out, close my eyes and pretend I'm somewhere safe. I would not have picked either of these, but that's just me. You fight back tears and shove your fists in your mouth, biting down until the pain takes away all of the other emotions. See, I'm not weak. I can control myself, I can. I'll never give you a divorce, do you understand? Never. Do you have any idea how to look for a man in my position? I'm not asking for much, Richard. Just a chance to start over. Somewhere new. Somewhere I can be happy. Happy? Just try and leave and see how happy you are. I'll keep the money, I'll keep the kids, I'll keep everything. Wow. You're jolted back to the present as your father smirks, convinced he's won. But then Ella squeezes your thigh. Levy, we don't have to sit here and listen to him. We can leave. Please, by all means. I'll arrange your sister's flight home and we can put all this nonsense behind us. Despite your father's tone, Ella holds her head high, a stark contrast to the meek woman you first met. You can practically hear her telling you it's all thanks to the strength you helped her find. When my mother tried to leave, I was powerless to help her, but I'm not a child anymore. I can protect Reese. I can say no. Excuse me? I said no. You will never speak to Reese or Ella like that again. I'm done letting you act like you're the only person in the world whose opinion matters. Speak to either of them like that again and you will never hear from us as long as you live. Don't, Levy. I'm not worth it. Let him finish, Reese. Ella slips her hand into Reese's as her eyes meet yours, full of pride. Her smile strengthens you as you turn back to your father. Your daughter is doing something good with her life, and you can't stand it because deep down you know she's everything you're not. You won't touch a hair on her or a single cent in that trust if you try. I'll take you to court for everything you're worth. Your dad stares at you, anger and confusion warring on his features, but his anger doesn't frighten you. It just makes you stand taller. Since when are you such a champion for the downtrodden? Since I realized I don't need a damn thing from you. Neither does Reese, so long as she has me. Come on, Ella. The company here has ruined my appetite. Mine too. I need to get some fresh air. In a lifetime of arguments, you've never gotten the last word before. But as you get up, your father just stares after you in shock. You stalk towards the entrance, heart pounding with adrenaline, until Ella catches you by the arm. Levy, that was... You don't have to say it, Ella. I should have never subjected you to that man and his... No, you were incredible. Ella, say it again. Say what again? That what you did for your sister blew me away? She smiles and coils her body closer to yours. The way she's looking at you, you've never seen yourself like that before. I'm hot all over just thinking about it. I could watch you tear apart an arrogant old man for hours. What? That is not really something people say. You reach for her, breathing in the floral scent of her perfume, the sweet tang of her sweat underneath it. I'm only just getting started tearing things apart tonight. With her pressed against you, your body immediately responds to the heady mix of adrenaline and her touch. Every nerve is on fire with triumphant need. You want to taste her, and the next words nearly make you groan aloud. Then take me, Levy. Let me show you just how proud I am. She nods towards the side door beyond it. You glimpse the gleaming bustle of the restaurant's kitchen. Right now. Take her in the kitchen. We're just gonna, you know... Okay. Sure, I'll give it a go until, you know, it crosses a point. Ella gasps with delight as you tug her into the kitchen. Since your family's meal is the only one being prepared tonight, it's nearly empty. The lone chef and a pair of dishwashers look up in shock as you enter. Marty, you can't be back here. It's for staff only. Command them. Get out of here now. But I have not finished it. I don't recall phrasing it as a question. The chef takes one look at your expression and makes himself scarce. Following his lead, the dishwashers are quick to scatter. You could have just asked them politely, you know. You don't wait for the door to finish swinging closed before pushing Ella's skirt up around her waist. I'm not asking for anything tonight, Ella. I'm taking it. You kiss her again. You've never been so hungry for her before. Or the way she opens up to you, or the slide of her tongue against yours. The tongue delves deeper, the body claiming hers as you push her further into the kitchen, sending pots clattering out of the way. And dinner really got you into the mood, didn't it? You took her face in your hands, smoothing one thumb across her lips. And so did you. You're the one who suggested letting off some steam. She looks up at you so trustingly that it almost takes your breath away. I couldn't resist, not after seeing you out there so in control. You claim her mouth so fiercely that she gasps. There's no finesse to this kiss. Only you need to taste every part of her. Levy. A growl starts to form low in your throat. Say my name like that again and I won't be responsible for the consequences. She pretends to think about it for a second before her lips move in a soft whisper. Levy. You press her back until she hits the edge of a metal countertop. With one sweep of your hand, you send all of its contents crashing to the floor. What if they hear us out in the restaurant? Then they'll think the chef is throwing a tantrum. Feel free to scream in French if things will get too much for you. Spin Ella to face the counter and press her down until she's bent all the way over him. Oh god, are we really doing this here? Anywhere, Ella. Everywhere. We ended up using a spatula. You straighten your clothing, giving you both time to catch your breath before you press a kiss on her lips. She winds her arms around your neck and clings to you. For the first time since you walked into the place, you finally feel like yourself again. In control. As you head outside with her, you text Anderson to bring the car around, pulling her close. You hear footsteps rushing towards you. Phew, you guys haven't left yet. I was afraid I missed you. We were busy for about 10 or 20 minutes. I mean, what? I thought you'd left.
I was just outside getting some air. Dad didn't even make eye contact with me when I left.
Reese looks up at you with tears shining in her eyes.
Thank you for standing up for me in there. You have no idea how much it meant.
You pull her into a tight hug. Reese, he can't hurt you ever again. If he says or does anything to you, Reese, I want you to pick up the phone and call me, got it? I know plenty of powerful people in town who'd love for me to owe them a favor.
That sounds like the Levy I know.
But, just as you let Reese go, the door to the restaurant swings open with an angry thump. Your dad storms out scowling. He sees you and Reese side by side, Ella still disheveled, her lipstick smudged, and his scowl deepens. This isn't over, Levy. Your father lifts a warning finger and points it at all three of you. Your whole life you've known what it means to be my son, but if you're going to enable your sister's delinquency, you discovered what it means to be my enemy. Well, bring it on, old man. Without further ado, thanks for watching. Please remember to like and share the video. Head down to the description. Plenty of cool things there and check out and ways to support. And leave a comment down below. What do you think will happen? What do you think of the chapter? What do you think of anything, really? How's your day? How about that? Without further ado, thank you again for watching. It means a lot, your continued support. Sorry I'm getting this out a little bit late tonight. I just have not been doing so great today, but you know, I always make sure to get it out for you. So, thanks again. Catch y'all later. Peace out.